It finally leaked what the Eagles reportedly put on the table. To try and snatch Micah Parsons from us and my brother, it ain't small potatoes. Everyone's talking about it because, let's be real, imagining Parsons in Philly green gives me the chills. It's like watching the enemy take your most precious jewel, you know? This wasn't just some random speculation. Jay Glazer dropped this bomb on Sunday morning, so you got to take it seriously. The word on the street is this: Green big out Parsons by offering the first-round picks, 2026 and 2027, plus veteran Kenny Clark, a solid guy who can come in and play. We kind of swallowed that because it seemed like a solid package. Now, the Eagles, those damn division rivals, reportedly also offered the first-round picks, plus a third, a fifth, and in the words that have been floating around, other things. You know what that is. It's that kind of seductive offer that has a hidden catch. To be honest with you, I'm torn. On one hand, more picks give you more power to rebuild, but let's be real. Who trusts that a third or a fifth will turn into a player on the level of Micah Parsons? Especially when you remember that Kenny Clark is a ready-made piece, a quality veteran. Unlike gambling on draft luck, there's more. The Eagles aren't just any team. They're the current Super Bowl champs. So those first-round picks with Parsons that would fall at the end of the board. In other words, the real value of those picks would be way less than they look on paper. The fans didn't let it slide. In the Cowboys Nation group chats, people are freaking out, some saying they should have accepted Philly's offer. Others saying trading within the division is absolute madness. I'm telling you, I'm on the second team, seeing Parsons twice. A year playing against us, wrecking our O-line? No way. Dude, no way. That would be torture. You know what just came to my mind? Jerry Jones might mess up on a lot of things, but he held the line on this one because giving your star to your mortal enemy would be insane. I'm not exaggerating. Just imagine the scene. Micah sacking our QB at the AT&T with Eagles fans laughing. Just thinking about it makes me choke up. And there's the cherry on top. They say this talk could still produce more behind-the-scenes stuff, because other teams also tried to get in on the bidding. You really think it stops there? Well, hold on, because the next news messes with the heart of the defense and brings a big name circling Dallas. Hot rumors are flying that the Cowboys are scouting none other than Shaquille Barrett, the veteran edge rusher who made history over in Tampa Bay. To put it in perspective, he just became a free agent after his contract expired, and a lot of fans are already saying it would be a perfect marriage with Dallas's current moment. Barrett isn't just anyone, my brother. The guy is in the top 5 in Bucs history for sacks. He's already shown he knows how to lead a locker room and that he can be a terror for any quarterback. If we stop and think about it, with Micah Parsons gone, our pass rush is short-handed. Sure, we have talented kids emerging like Donovan Ezervaku, but putting all the pressure on them right away is asking for too much. Bringing in a hardened veteran like Barrett would be that immediate relief. To be honest with you, I see two things here. First, the tactical fit. The guy can play in different schemes, adapts easily, and still teaches the rookies with the experience he carries. Second, the cultural factor. Ever since Schottenheimer took over, he's been preaching discipline, execution, and leadership. Barrett fits that narrative like a glove because it's not just talent, it's a mentality. Of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The question is the cost. A player of that caliber, even in the final stretch of his career, asks for a reasonable contract. But from what's been reported, his asking price isn't crazy, something modest considering his resume. That opens a very good window for the Cowboys, who are always dancing around the salary cap and trying to fit in strategic reinforcements without breaking the bank. You know what the fans are doing, exploding on social media. The Cowboys Nation has already started flooding the forums. Some are saying, bring this monster in now. We needed him yesterday. Others are saying, don't spin on a veteran. Bet on the young guys. That's where I come in with my fans' eye view. If it's about holding the line while the kids grow, I wouldn't think twice. Get Barrett. Let him go head-to-head with the QBS in the NFC East, and the young guys will evolve right along with him. Another thing that gets to me is imagining him bringing that fighting spirit to practice. Can you imagine the impact of having a guy like that pulling the rotation, setting an example of physical readiness, showing what consistency is all about? That's worth just as much as a sack on Sunday. Don't be fooled. If Dallas doesn't act, another smart team will grab this opportunity. The NFL is like that. Brother, you snooze, you lose. And then, when he's sacking our QB in another jersey, we'll look back and say, we had the chance and we let it slip away. So get ready, because the next news isn't about a veteran. It's about youth, about a promise, and about a piece that could be the immediate future of our offensive line. The name that has started circling Dallas now is Kenyon Green, a young guard who was released by the Eagles after getting there in a trade with the Texans. The kid was a first-round pick in 2022, has a raw physique, versatility, and is still on his rookie contract. Does it seem like a small thing? It's not, my brother. This could directly affect the foundation of our offensive line. To be honest with you, when I heard his name linked to Dallas, the first thing that came to my mind was, man, we really need youth in the middle of the O-line. There's no hiding it. Losing Zach Martin was a major blow, and the fans already miss someone who commands respect in the trenches. Kenyon Green isn't a star yet, but he has 23 starts in 2 seasons. That matters. It shows he has mileage for his age. Schottenheimer's philosophy ever since he arrived in January is clear. Simplify the playbook, strengthen the running game, and preach discipline. Then you look at Green's profile: scrappy, flexible, with a high ceiling for growth. It's almost like a natural fit. Imagine putting him in the rotation, fighting for a spot while giving security for the run game to become a heavy weapon again. It makes so much sense. Now, of course, there's the other side. If the Eagles gave him up, do they know something we don't? That's the talk that's been going around in the Cowboys Nation WhatsApp groups. A lot of people saying if the rival released him, it's because he's no good, but I'm not buying that right away. Sometimes a guy just doesn't fit the system. Sometimes it's just a roster choice. If Dallas can get this kid for a low price, it could be a steal. The contractual part even helps. Last year of his rookie contract, low money, limited dead money. In other words, low risk. If it goes wrong, it doesn't sink the team. If it goes right, he could be a solid piece for years. That kind of bet, to be real, is what smart teams do. The question is, are the Cowboys ready to take a risk on this type of player after so much controversy with recent trades? In the forums, I've seen older fans say, we need a big tough line, not a promise, and I've seen the younger guys more excited, saying, this is the future. Give him a chance and he'll blow up here. Being honest, am more with the people who believe in the potential, because without a line, there's no offense. If we want to protect our QB and open up space for the running game, names like Kenyon Green are a cheap and smart investment. But hold tight, because the next news isn't about a bet. It's about 3 guys who are already on the roster and need to flip the switch right now. Otherwise, the season could start slipping away before it's time. Brother, if there's one thing that hurt in this start to the season, it was seeing the opener against the Eagles. Not just because of the loss, but because some guys we had high hopes for simply didn't deliver. I'm telling you, if there isn't an immediate reaction, things are going to get complicated. Let's talk about these 3 names that have been on every fan's lips since the final whistle. First, Kenneth Murray Jr., the linebacker, arrived with a lot of expectation. He even had 9 tackles, but the linebacker core as a whole played poorly. Jalen Hurts was escaping the pocket, and it looked like a 7-on-7 practice with no response. PFF even gave him a super low grade, 30.0. The reality is he needs to give so much more. Look, it's not just me talking. In the Cowboys Nation groups, people are already calling for him to be benched if he doesn't react. I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt, because it's the opener, but patience in Dallas runs out fast. Now, George Pickens, he was the big offensive signing of the offseason. The idea was an elite duo, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens terrorizing secondaries, but in the opener, he fell short. 3 receptions, 30 yards. He even drew a pass interference call, but nothing close to the expected impact. To be honest with you, I was expecting an explosion. Game-changing plays. It didn't happen. The fans are already starting to ask, is this what we brought the guy in for? I still think he'll get going, but he needs to show it right now against the Giants. And speaking of Lamb, that one was maybe the most painful, because he had the numbers 110 yards, 7 receptions, but my friend, for drops, 4. 2 of them on the final drive where we could have shut Philly up inside their own stadium. After the game, he took the blame, apologized, said he's going to be better. Okay, nice speech. But the truth is the game is already in the bag. Every fan worth their salt knows a star has to show up in the clutch moments. The vibe in the virtual stands was one thing, frustration. Some were tougher, saying Lamb choked. Others were calmer, remembering that even the best have bad nights. I'm in the middle. I think he's going to respond, but you can't ignore the weight of those mistakes. The NFL is cruel. Every play counts. The point is simple. Murray, Pickens, and Lamb need to flip the switch immediately because the season is long, but starting 0-2 kills morale. Let's be real. You can't stumble against the Giants. The fans want new blood. They want intensity. They want to see this trio show they have that Cowboys grit. Hold on, because in the conclusion, I'm going to tie everything together: the trades, the rumors, the disappointments, and the hopes. I'm going to tell you why, even with setbacks, there's still reason to believe in this team. You know, what's left of all this? A mix of anger, hope, and that feeling that a Cowboys fan's heart never rests. There was a crazy offer for Parsons, a rumor of a veteran to strengthen the defense, a young prospect circling the O-line, and an opener that left a bitter taste. But you know what? This is the moment to flip the switch. Dallas is far from dead. I want to hear from you.